Hello, this is a training video from Pacesetter Claims on how to enter a note in XacAnalysis and the importance of using notes for correspondence and communication during claims processing. So first we need to get into the claim. So once you log into your XacAnalysis, you can type your claim number up here in the search field. There are different ways to get into the claim, but we're going to use this method today. Once you're in the claim, you'll notice a row of blue linked word tabs. These are different tabs where you can go in and do different functions in XacAnalysis. We'll be having another training video that we'll have out that you can find regarding how to navigate generally in XacAnalysis. But for today's purposes, we're going to go into the notes section right here. So let's click on Notes. And before we continue, I'd like to talk a little bit about the importance of using notes. Basically, the Notes feature in XacAnalysis is a central communication and correspondence hub where multiple people that have access to the claim can come in and enter a note. Most people that are trying to get status on a claim or to provide status or information are going to come into the Notes section and do so. Those people might be the field adjuster, the desk adjuster, Pacesetter management, file reviewers, the carrier. So again, multiple people can put notes in here for various reasons. For this training purposes, for field adjusters, it's very important to use the notes section to, again, update Pacesetter on what the status of the claim is and provide information, particularly if you're going to be late and not meeting cycle times. For contacting insureds, for instance, one of the most popular ones where the adjusters may be late is not getting to upload your estimate within the 48 hours after inspection. That's pretty common. Put notes in here. Don't be afraid to put notes regularly and update us to let us know what's going on, because this is where people are going to go to look for status if we're asking questions. And if we don't have status, that's when the management is going to be contacting the adjuster to find out what's going on with the claim and to recommend that they do a better job of updating the file for us. So let's look at a few of these. This is a training claim, so there's not a lot of various entries from different people. We see some XacNet system notes and entries. You'll see that commonly sometimes. The rest of them are from me. I've set the claim up for training purposes. Let's start by looking at these two. You'll see these sometimes. These are two areas on another training video that I did for stopping the clock on contacting the insured and putting your planned inspection in. And you'll notice that these entries have a heading: status update, planned inspection, status update, customer contacted. If you'll look at these entries that I put in manually, and we'll enter a note here shortly, these don't have those headings. These were entered directly here in the notes section by clicking on this tab, which again we'll do shortly. But I wanted to direct your attention to these again to understand that when you go into the details tab, which is where this is done, this is where you're going to stop the clock once you contact the insured or leave a voicemail with the insured, and put your planned inspection date in here. These both, again, are very important to do for processing and for management to look at reporting. Again, that's another training video. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I wanted to be aware that when you put a note in these sections, for instance, here's the customer contacted. This is the little note I put in for leaving a voicemail, text, and email. We'll close that, and we can look at the other one for planned inspection date. Spoke to the insured, set up an inspection. These were entered here under the Details tab in XacAnalysis, but once those are updated and entered, in the background, XacAnalysis transfers those notes over to the Notes section, which is what we saw previously here in these two entries. And we know that because they have these headings: status update, planned inspection, status update, customer contacted. This tells everybody that these were done over in the Details tab, and the status was updated there and transferred here into the notes. That's done automatically by XacAnalysis. So let's look at these other notes. This is a note where the insured called me back and wanted to reschedule the inspection. So obviously I entered a note manually to let everybody know that the insured called and we're rescheduling the inspection for this date and time. Then let's say that I completed the inspection and I know I'm going to be a little late. I'm going to be past my 48-hour required cycle time to get my estimate up because I'm waiting on a contractor invoice to complete my estimate. So I'm going to put a note in XacAnalysis here to let management and everybody know that. And that's what this note is here. Estimate delayed as I'm waiting for a contractor invoice. We'll upload ASAP. Then let's say the next day, the contractor called me back from me calling him, and he returned my call, and he said he'd provide the invoice for the meter mast replacement by tomorrow close of business. When obtained, I'll upload the estimate. So again, I put another note in there and let everybody know. More notes is better than less notes. So don't put a note in with status and then 7 days go by, or 4 days, or 9 days, or what have you, and you're waiting, or there's some types of delays that may be out of your control, but you're not updating the file to tell us what's going on, that you're still waiting, that you're continually trying to contact this person. It's very important that you continually update the file. So let's add a note briefly and conclude the video. So let's say, for instance, that I also during the inspection got a sample. I'm sending a sample off to ITEL. So I would go over here to this icon. This is where we're going to add a note. I also recommend when you open the note, drag this window a little bit to the right so that you can see the entire text field. So let's put a note in here that flooring sample sent to ITEL for analysis. So we have a misspelling. XacAnalysis is kind enough to let me know that. So let's right click on that and we'll correct the spelling. So there's our note. If you wanted to add more, again, we'll update file when I get the report. That's fine. You can do that. But this is short and sweet. If anyone came and looked at this, they would know that you're waiting on a contractor invoice and that you're waiting on a sample report to come back from ITEL before you can complete your estimate. Before we leave this section, I want to point out these check boxes. These are where you can email this note to somebody. We'll actually add another note here shortly as an example. But in this case, we don't need to send a note to the desk adjuster or to the project manager. We just want to put a note in here for status. So in this case, we'll scroll down to the bottom right, click on Add Note. XacAnalysis will update, and there's our new note right here. So let's say we'll add one more note, and let's say we do want to send that note. And let's say we're waiting on a coverage decision from the desk adjuster, and we want to contact the desk adjuster to request they contact us to discuss something, and I need to get an answer from them. And I want to put a note in XacAnalysis to let everybody else know that I am trying to contact the DA. I am doing due diligence to do so, and I want that DA to contact me. I can do both of those with a note. So let's add a note again. Open up the window. And let's type in, requesting DA contact me to discuss a coverage decision. Let's correct that spelling there. Everything looks good. So in this case, we want to put this note in XacAnalysis for record so everyone can see it, and we want to send the note to somebody. In this case, the desk adjuster. So let's click on the box desk adjuster, and you'll notice when we do that, it drops the assigned desk adjuster's email here. If you wanted to send it to another person, you can manually click in this field and type an email address if you knew the address. So let's say you want to send it to a manager. Click away. And now it will go to that recipient. Oh, if you'll notice, I put a comma here before COM. It should be .com. So let's X out, do it again. manager at PCS.com. Click away. There we go. So now if we update, it's going to put the note in XacAnalysis, and it's going to send that note to these recipients. We're not going to do this right now because I don't want to send Brad, who is our director of field operations, I don't want to send him this email and confuse him. But if I were to click add note, again, it would put this note in the notes section, and it would email that note to these people in the recipients field. So let's cancel this. So that concludes this training session on notes. If you have any questions on this or any other claims processing issues, certainly contact Pacesetter Management. We'll be happy to help you. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.